Now, over 25% of the world's population depends on forests for their livelihoods, and the Kenya Forest Research Institute estimates that as the world or as the Kenyan population continues to grow, then dependence on forest will increase. So tonight we talk about forest commercialization or commercial forestry, and we are going to have a look at how the role that commercial forestry is playing in increasing forest cover in the country. Our guest tonight is Dr. Joram Kagombe, Deputy Director at the Kenya Forest Research Institute. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And welcome to this show.
Thank you.
You know, conversations about climate change are ongoing around the world. What does this project, it's one of the core services that you offer at KEFRI. How does it contribute to that conversation, that is the global conversation that is ongoing on climate change?
Kenya Forest Research Institute is a state agency. We are funded by the government and do research in forestry and natural resources. And our role is to provide technical backstopping, technical advice to all the actors in the sector on how we can improve the issues of forestry in this country. And forestry contributes a lot in terms of being the major carbon stock in the country. Even as we talk about the ongoing conversation in Glasgow, carbon, most of the carbon is retained in the forest, and so we have to work with all the parties towards increasing the forest cover in this country. And as you are aware, the country came up with a strategy of increasing the forest cover from the current about 6% to 10%. Yeah. And this require concerted effort by everybody, not just government. Everybody need to come in because it's a lot of work, but it's possible with everybody coming on board. And so the issue of what we are discussing about commercial forestry comes in handy because right now the commercial forest plantations in this country are mainly in the public sector, in the gazetted forest, and they started about 130,000 hectares. And these contribute to the construction industry. They also contribute to issues of transmission poles, also the firewood. As you are aware, the bulk of our population, about 80%, stays in the rural areas, and they use 80% of their fuel consumption is from wood. So as we talk about this commercial forestry, we are thinking of how can we go beyond what the current practice, where most of the forests are in the public forest, to get into the on-farm, where the farmers can do tree planting as a competitive land use. And also
talking about
we get also to arid and semi-arid areas.
We'll be getting into the details of the commercial forestry shortly. But you said that the effort by the country to increase its forest cover to 10% is to try address the emissions that are going on from all over the world. Maybe let's talk about what is the possible cause for these emissions and how increasing forest cover can reduce or curb the carbon that is coming from these emissions.
The emissions are produced when, especially we have had a lot of industrialization, even in countries, and through the industrialization, there is a lot of green gas emissions, which have actually led to the issue of increment of the temperatures, and this has had a problem because when the temperatures rise, a lot of things change. To a point even when we talk of climate change, it leads even to increase in sea levels, and so some of the areas which could be now habited, in future they may not be habited. And in Kenya we know, we have been talking about this as if it's very far from us. But in the recent years, we have had places like Lake Nakuru, Lake Bogoria, Lake Naivasha, where there has been an increase in water levels to a point that some of the places have already submerged. So we are not talking of fiction, we are talking of what can happen. And forests now provide an opportunity, because when we do the tree planting and we plant, these forests absorb carbon.
Yes.
And so we have a role to do more of the planting so that we can have more of our carbon being absorbed. And we also reduce the cutting, because when we cut, we also are emitting carbon.
And Kenya is at the forefront in addressing the issue of climate change. Maybe so far, how can you rate our efforts as a country to address climate change through forest cover, increasing our forest cover? Where are we at?
Kenya has done great strides in this area, because we have the policies and legislation which support this. And the greatest effort the government did is also coming up with a government strategy towards 10% forest cover. And there's a strategy and it's a blueprint which give the efforts which everybody should do. The strategy is there. I think the issue which we will be discussing is how well it's implemented. But of course, to be implemented also require resources. And this is where even the discussion which has been going on in Glasgow, if you have followed them, there has been a lot of discussion about also the countries which are developed also coming in to support the developing countries in issues of forestation, issues of reducing emission. So I think that those discussions are there, and there have been promises. We hope that this time round, beyond Glasgow conference, the promises will be articulated and we shall have more support.
Yeah, and Kenya, I think, and South Africa are the only countries that produce quality seeds. Let's talk about how this is helping, especially farmers. And I know there is another core service that you're offering right now on the commercial forestry. So let's talk about the quality seeds that we have and how KEFRI is using to address or to help farmers and to address the issue of forest conservation.
The basis of forestry is quality seeds. Because if you are talking of planting and you want to plant trees are like maize, they take long. Some trees will take 20 years. If you are talking of indigenous trees, they can go even up to 60 years. And so the stock, what you plant is very important. And Kenya, as you have said, we have a seed center which deals with the issues of quality seeds, and KEFRI is at the forefront. And when we are talking of quality seed, we start from the field, where we have seed orchard and also seed starts. These are areas where we collect seeds, and once we collect seed, we have to process them, we have to do germination tests, we have to package them properly to ensure that what we are giving also is of quality. It can when a farmer buys, they can go and germinate. And so that becomes the issue of even quality plantation start with the quality seeds. Because even when you are doing maize farming, you also buy hybrid seeds. So it's the same for forestry, especially so when you are doing plantation and when you are thinking of commercial. Because the other ones, when you are thinking of maybe you want to buy to plant indigenous trees, those ones are though the seed quality is also very important, but for the plantation species, quality is key, because the quality will determine the volume that you finally harvest. It will determine the type of harvest that you will finally get.
And when you're buying these trees, you're looking at quality. Okay. So how is KEFRI implementing this program that you have on increasing or helping increasing forest cover? I'm talking about commercial forestry. How are you implementing? Are you helping farmers with these quality seeds, or when they come with their not so good seeds or trees, how is that? What are some of the qualities that you are looking at while you engage farmers in buying their trees?
What do we do with farmers? First of all, we work with the farmers, because first of all you have to train the farmers what type of trees even to collect seeds from, because it's not on all the trees that you can collect seed from. Then, so you must collect seeds from good mother trees, because trees have also, we have trees which we call mother trees. And once you collect also, there is an issue of the processing, because the processing has to be right. Then there are also various pre-treatments. There are some seeds which need to be pre-treated before they are planted. Some need to be soaked in hot water. There are some seeds, when you collect today, you have maybe to keep them in low temperatures. So these are the type of training that we have to give to the farmers. Otherwise, you may go and collect seeds, good seeds, but if you don't do proper pre-treatment, then you will not get good germination, simply because you did not do the right thing. So that's one of the things that we have to train farmers on how to process the seeds. And when we talk of even making money out of forest, part of it starts with the seeds, because if the farmers can be trained well on where to collect seeds and working with the technical people, some of the seeds they can be able to also sell and make money out of it. So there's an enterprise in the whole process of seed collection and seed processing.
So your first training, you're dealing with the farmers that you've trained yourselves.
You have to train them.
You have to train them. So is that what this conference, I know you're having a big conference coming up, the first Kenya Commercial Forestry Investment Conference. Maybe you can talk more about it. Are you calling on farmers to come on board and be trained so that they can benefit from this program?
The major thing about the first ever Kenya Commercial Forestry Investment Conference and Expo, we are bringing the practitioners, stakeholders, even the farmers, to come together so that, first of all, we can share experiences and knowledge on commercial forestry, the status where we are. We also want them to showcase the various technologies which can help in commercial forestry. We are also bringing them together so that they can discuss issues of investment, what are the financing options which could be there, because we see that the going commercial way, the commercial forest investment is the way which can bridge the gap, because we need to model tree farming or tree growing to a point that it is competitive radius, because people know various radius, like if you are doing maize, there's a good radius, but can you also showcase that you can plant trees and you make money out of planting trees? And how do you make money? First of all, you need, as I said, you have to get good quality seeds. Then you also have to know where to plant them, because this is what we call species site matching, because you have to plant the right species at the right place. Then you have to take care of these trees by making sure that they are protected from livestock, they are protected from weeds, and also there are also other silvicultural practices, like where they need pruning, you have to do pruning, so that at the end of the day, you get quality material. You also have to make sure that you protect them also and take care of pests and diseases, because pests and diseases are also there. And at the end of the day, from each acre, from each hectare, you have to strive to get the maximum production, because once you get the maximum production, then you get good returns. Then once you get to the other level of now marketing, you have to do proper marketing to be able to get the outlets for your crop. And then you need also to get to the level of doing proper and value addition. Because now what happens, most of the farmers will just sell logs which are not converted, and they don't get much money. In fact, we have a situation where farmers are exploited by middlemen, because they don't even have proper valuation system for studying tree. So you find a tree which could maybe sell at 10,000, they are selling at 2,000. So these are the things that we have to discuss and come and come up with the strategies to ensure that as you go to commercial forestry, you are also doing it well and you are getting good returns.
Yeah.
That way you contribute to the tree cover and you also put in money in the pocket. Yeah.
And I'm told time is not on our side, but I think briefly you can help our farmers understand how ready is this market and what are you looking out for in case they have their own trees. What are these quality trees are you looking out for? Maybe is there a ready market for this?
The market, there's a big potential for the market. And I would like to say we are not working alone. We are working with other agencies, private sector, like organizations like GASPIC, Kenya Climate Innovation Center, FAO, UNDP, and all of them we are bringing together our technologies to ensure that the farmer gets the maximum.
Okay.
And in the conference, we shall be displaying those technologies, discussing those options. And so I know with the time which we have, we may not talk much, but there is opportunity that from 23rd to 26, we shall be able to give all this information.
And who is eligible? Anybody can register?
Anyone can register. Okay. If you go to our KEFRI website, you can register. We have a various options of one. You can register as a physical participant. You can come physically and register with the 9,000 students, 4,000. But we are also, because we know this is very important topic for Kenyan, we will be streaming live, and we shall also be in streaming through the virtual. And for virtual participation, it is free.
Oh, okay.
It is free, and so we encourage everybody to register. Okay. And then actually when you register, you will not miss out. You'll be able to learn a lot, and you will come out of the conference with having learned how you can make money out of forest and also contribute towards.
Thank you so much. My director is going to finish with you. Thank you so much for making time for us, Dr. And we will be registering. The conference begins on the 23rd to 26th of this month. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate. That's all the time we had for this interactive conversation about commercial forestry and increasing of forest cover right here in the country. We have business news coming up next. Stay with us.